Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I have had the best day today with dogs and good interviews, and this next interview will not disappoint. And it's all about a free mental health workshop, how to strengthen our relationships, how to transform them, I should say. I have Sheri and Dannielle with us today. How are you guys?
Great.
We're doing great this morning.
I love your energy. I feel uplifted just being around you guys. I really do. Okay, so Sheri, tell me about your role in this. You are the presenter, Dannielle, of this, relationship building workshop. But Sheri, what is your involvement?
I'm with Connect Summit County, and this is part of our educational programming that we do throughout the year. And we have brought Dannielle Bryan in to talk about relationships and strengthening relationships through the Transformational Relationship Dynamics workshop, which we're hosting this Thursday from 6 to 8:30 at the Blair Education Center, and it's free.
It's free. Yeah. Which is mind-blowing.
Right, I know.
And so Connect Summit County, we focus on mental health awareness. Our mission is to create a stigma-free and well-educated community with access to mental health resources for all people in Summit County. And so this falls perfectly in line with that. SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, has outlined 8 dimensions of wellness, and 2 of those, one is social and one is emotional. And 2 of those really are the foundation for why we brought in a workshop like this. And it's not just how many relationships, it's the quality of the relationships that really make the difference. And so we thought if we could give some tools on how to be in relationships and how to get unstuck from some of those old patterns that lead you to that same dead end, that it would really help in the area of mental health, because it's some of the protective factors is being involved with strong social circles.
What a cool opportunity you're providing for everybody here. And like you said, it's for all people, probably teens, kids, adults. We all need the help, to be honest. I mean, I know I do. All right, let's get into that. Dannielle, you are presenting this transformational relationship building exercise workshop. One of the things that I read in my notes was this Triangle of Disempowerment, which is kind of this like dangerous triangle, right? This dangerous dynamic that's in every relationship. Will you tell me more about that?
Yes. It's, First, I'm going to destigmatize how dangerous it is. But
sorry, my bad.
No, it's okay. It can feel dangerous because when we get caught in it, and this is the language that we use, that we can find ourselves caught in the triangle of disempowerment. And what becomes dangerous about that is our limited resources and choice.
Okay.
That is what I would say is the most dangerous part about getting caught in the triangle. But the triangle itself, the triangle of disempowerment, consists of 3 roles: the victim, the rescuer, and the perpetrator. And the perpetrator or the bully. And we all have a tendency to slip into one of those roles at any given point in an exchange with somebody, in a relating experience. And what happens when we get caught in it, and this triangle just exists. So one of the things that we're going to dive into on Thursday is talking about what is an archetypal energy. And this triangle is an archetypal energy, which means that it exists in the world. Right? The victim role, the rescuer role, and the perpetrator role, they just exist. They're roles. That's exactly what they are. And what we're going to explore is what is your tendency to slip into the triangle? What role do you tend to default to and find yourself caught in that triangle of disempowerment, where it feels like we don't have choice? It feels like the world or the thing is happening to us. It feels like we're always the one who have to fix everything, or we're the perpetrator. We're the ones who are angry about everything that's happening out there, and we want to go, make that thing pay its due course. They're bad and wrong, and we're gonna stick it to them, right?
Okay, we're talking about these roles. Are these roles that we are in every single day, or are they at like height of emotion confrontations? Height of emotion confrontations is what I would say, or deep challenges. But what we're going to look at in the workshop is there are some people who kind of move through life with the lens of being the victim or the lens of being the rescuer. So in that case, I would say that you have a tendency to see through that lens, right? And what this workshop is going to do is give you an experience of recognizing when we do it, what our tendency is, and then how to recognize it and to pop ourselves out of the dynamic. And this is where it becomes a tool. So working through the experience of what we call mapping the triangle,
will give you a resource to recognize when we're caught in that dynamic. So in the workshop, getting unstuck from old patterns, we all have a tendency to be in a dynamic and in a pattern. We have our default way that we do something or we engage with something when we're triggered, particularly.
Okay, I can see already how this can help marriages.
Yes.
Friendships,
yes.
co-workers maybe.
Absolutely.
What is the difference? I mean, okay, let's talk a marriage of 10 years when you've kind of been in this triangle and you're like building up baggage. How do you
call it ruts?
yes, I mean, it's just built up over 10 years where I'm one world and he's the other.
Yes.
How do you just snap out of that?
Well, come to the workshop on Thursday. How you snap out of it is to recognize why we do it in the first place. There is a benefit and a payoff to the ways in which we have patterned relationship. All right. So now we're getting into a deeper psychological aspect of it, and we're going to touch on this on Thursday, but we'll take the time to talk about it. So the deeper psychological aspect is, why do we do what we do? We want to bring awareness to our motivating factors. We want to bring awareness to what drives our behavior and what is it that we're really actually looking for. What is the end result that we're looking for? Because we're probably not looking to just be a victim.
Right.
And we're probably not looking to just perpetrate our spouse, but there's something else that's happening underneath there. And that's what we're going to begin to explore. And how you pop out of it, out of a 10-year habituated relationship dynamic, is to have the experience. And this workshop is experiential. Sheri and I, when we brainstormed and talked about what we wanted to do, we discussed, do we want to give a lecture piece? Do we want to give an experiential piece? Do we want to give a full-blown workshop where you're in it for half a day, right? And we discussed those things, and we came back to a little bit of both. So there's a teaching piece about what is it, what's the triangle, how does it operate, how do we know when we're in it, and then you're actually going to get into the energetics of it. And you will feel it when you lay down those 3 points on the floor and you step into the center of that triangle. You'll feel it in your body. You will have a huge awareness of, this is exactly what it feels like when I'm doing this kind of conversation in my workplace or with my spouse or with my kids. And it's through that awareness that in that moment we can say, wait a minute, I don't want to do it like this.
Right, I don't want to be that person.
I don't want to be that person. I rather have a different engagement here. And it's the stop, the awareness, and the choice.
And I think some of it too is understanding yourself, because you were saying there's motivations behind playing each one of those roles. And if you understand that when you're the victim, you're maybe needing attention or you're needing to be seen, and pausing and then recognizing that maybe you can be seen and get that attention in other ways.
Mm-hmm. This is so deep, because automatically I'm self-reflecting, like, which role am I gonna which I think is kind of the point, right?
Yes.
We all need to be self-aware, self-reflective, and understand the root of why we act the way we do. And you're gonna help everyone do that. I mean, this sounds like raw. I mean, I feel like there's gonna be tears. I feel like there's gonna be epiphanies. Once we realize the root, of our issue, are you providing steps to overcome those things and have that awareness and come out on top?
Yes. And let's keep in mind, this is a 2.5-hour workshop. So, we're going to be reaching the high levels of this concept. We're going to talk about the triangle. We're going to talk about how to recognize it. We're going to talk about how it lives in the world. It doesn't just live in our homes, right? But this lives culturally in our society, and we see it. We see the fight against and the war on, right? And what that sets up is that we are fighting against this thing because of all these victims, and this organization is going to rescue the victims against this big bad thing. And we can look out in the wide, wide world of our culture and see that it's embedded in our language, it's embedded in how we come to things. So we're looking at it high level, and in our workshop, we're talking about it, we're looking at it, and we're making the experience of just kind of the tip of the iceberg is what I'm going to say, of like, here's how you recognize you're in it, and here's how you get off of it. So you absolutely have the steps of getting off of it. When you are speaking to, like, this is intense, this is heavy work, we're not diving all the way into the deepest wounded places of why do we do victim. We're not doing that in this workshop.
Okay.
That's a different workshop.
Where is that workshop?
That workshop, I do teach intensive weekends.
Okay.
And on my website there are different workshops that I teach, and there's individual standalone weekends, there's one-day workshops, and there's a year-long training that I teach. And that's where we really get into those deep, deep, deep layers. But in 2.5 hours, and Sheri and I talked a lot about this, in 2.5 hours, we're not going to invite everybody to come and take them all the way to the depths of their personal work and then spit them back out. So
No, we're training, right?
yes,
We're teaching and training.
Yes, it's a training, and you're going to make an experience that becomes a resource that you can take back into your life, and you'll have that recognition. I'm doing this role, and I know how to get off of it. And so there's going to be an absolute takeaway where you can begin to apply it immediately. And then there will be resources, that we will have tables with resources, and if people want more information or more in-depth training or workshop experiences or sessions, then that's, the information is there for people to follow up with that, yeah.
This is so cool. I love everything I'm hearing. I love that, first of all, we're not diving deep. Even if you want to, you can.
Right. It's personal.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely personal. But yes, don't be thinking like, whoa, I'm not ready for that, because it's not that kind of thing. But it is personal also,
it is.
all at the same time, yeah.
A lot of self-reflection is involved, because it's all about us and how we react to situations, right?
I think another target audience that would really benefit from this is families, because we see it a lot in family dynamics, the triangulation.
Yep.
All right, guys, we were running out of time. Okay. I'm so sad about it, because I feel like we could talk about this all day. Tell me again, when and where.
It's going to be on this Thursday evening from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at the Blair Education Center at the Park City Hospital. It's free. You can RSVP if you would like on our Facebook page. It's an event. You can also email us at connectsummitcounty@gmail.com. But also, please just show up. We would love to have people come out for it. It's just such valuable information that I think you can use in everyday life with all your relationships.
Tell me one more time, where can people go, which website?
Come to connectsummitcounty.org and go to our calendar of events, and you'll see it there. It's the Transformational Relationship Dynamics Workshop.
Thank you guys so much. I hope everybody will take advantage of this.
Yes.
Okay, we have to wrap. The show is over, guys. Stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up on Park City Television. We will see you tomorrow.